Welcome, grammar detectives. Today, we're cracking the case on pronouns. You know, the words that do all the heavy lifting in our sentences. They make things smooth, clear, and honestly, way more powerful. So, our first clue is to figure out why we even need them in the first place. I mean, just imagine trying to write a story or even just an email, but every single sentence felt like a broken record. You'd be totally stuck in a world without pronouns, and your writing would be, well, a crime scene of repetition. Take a look at this example from our case file. Jack met Joe. Jack first saw Joe. It just sounds terrible, right? This is exactly the kind of clunky writing we need to solve. It's just not efficient, and it has absolutely no flow. And this is where our heroes come in. Pronouns are like these undercover agents that replace nouns, like Jack and Jill, to stop all that tedious repetition. The real key is understanding their different roles so you can use them effectively. Okay, so let's start by meeting the two most common types of pronoun agents out in the field. We've got personal and possessive pronouns. You're going to see these ones all the time. So these are your frontline agents. Think of them as the main characters. They take the place of people or things, but here's the catch. Their form actually changes depending on whether they are the subject, the one doing the action, or the object, the one receiving it. Now, what's really cool about this is seeing how the pronoun changes based on its job. For instance, you'd say, he saw her, where he is the one doing the seeing. But if we flip it around, it becomes, she saw him, and now she is the doer. It's the same situation, but we use different pronouns depending on the role. Next up, we have the agents of ownership. Possessive pronouns are all about telling us who something belongs to without having to repeat a name over and over again. They make it super clear what belongs to whom. And this little chart perfectly illustrates a really subtle difference. A possessive pronoun like mine can stand all by itself. It actually replaces the whole phrase, my book. But a possessive adjective, like my, it works with a noun to describe it. It's a small distinction, but it has a huge impact on how we build our sentences. Okay, now things get a little tricky. Our next case involves two kinds of pronouns that look exactly the same but have totally different missions. Meet the doppelgangers of the pronoun world, reflexive and intensive pronouns. Yeah, this is a classic grammar mystery. Words like myself, herself, and themselves can play two very different parts. But don't you worry, we have one simple clue that will crack the case every single time. So just notice the key difference right here. In the first example, we've got, she taught herself. In this case, herself is absolutely essential. It tells us who she taught. But in the second one, the author herself signed the book. The word herself is just there for emphasis. You could take it out and the sentence would still make perfect sense. And here it is, your number one clue, the removability test. It's simple. If you can remove the pronoun and the sentence still makes complete sense, it's an intensive pronoun, just used for emphasis. If the sentence totally falls apart or changes meaning, then you know it's a necessary reflexive pronoun. Case closed. All right, next up, we've got another pair of lookalikes with very different jobs. Let's meet the pronouns that connect ideas and the ones that ask the questions. Relative and interrogative pronouns. The whole key here is about their function. Look at the word who. In the sentence, the boy who won the prize is my cousin, it's connecting two ideas. That makes it a relative pronoun. But in who is your favorite author, it's asking a question. That makes it an interrogative pronoun. See? That's how you tell them apart. And finally, let's round up the rest of our pronoun squad. These are the specialists, the ones who handle very specific situations. They might not be as common as, say, personal pronouns, but their jobs are just as important. So let's do a quick meet and greet. Demonstrative pronouns point things out, like this is my pen. Indefinite pronouns are for non-specific things, like everyone is here. And reciprocal pronouns, they describe two-way actions, like in they helped each other. Each one has its own distinct, important role. Great work, detective. You've officially been briefed on all the key pronoun agents and their specific missions. Let's do a quick review, just to make sure all that intel is fresh in your mind before your final test. So, remember these 9 categories. From the everyday personal pronouns all the way to the specialist reciprocal ones. Mastering them is the real key to clear, effective, and honestly pretty sophisticated writing. Now, let's test those new skills. It is time to put your knowledge to the test. So get ready to analyze the evidence in these sentences and identify the pronouns at work. Okay, first one up. The students congratulated blank after the match. Should that be A, themselves, or B, each other? Think about the action here. Is it one group acting on itself, or are the members of the group acting on one another? Go ahead and lock in your answer. Next question. In the sentence, everyone enjoyed the presentation, what kind of pronoun is everyone? Is it pointing to a specific person, or is it talking about a more general group? Identify the pronoun type. All right, let's look at this one. The author herself signed the book. Time to use our trusty removability test. Can you take herself out of that sentence? Does the meaning change at all? Decide if it's reflexive or intensive. And for our last question, consider this sentence. Which subject do you like most? Look at the job that which is doing. Is it connecting two parts of a sentence, or is it kicking off a direct question? Okay, moment of truth. Let's check your work. For that first question, the answer was each other, which is a reciprocal pronoun. Everyone is an indefinite pronoun. Herself in that sentence was intensive, just for emphasis, and which was asking a question, making it interrogative. So how'd you do? Don't worry, every great detective knows that practice is key. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to start spotting these pronouns out in the wild. Happy investigating.